This is my 2020 autumn season plein air watercolor sketchbook, flip through Saunders Waterford sketchbook. Some of the leaves I collected on site, I put them on the cover of the book. I started on September 4th. We went to Rocklands Farm Winery in Maryland. It was a beautiful day, but it was kind of hot, 87 degrees. I painted 2 sketches on site there and went home, painted them again on the back of each page because I'm still getting used to the paper. September 11th, I went to paint the Korean temple in Meadowlark Botanical Garden. I like the painting, but I did it again when I got home. I want to zoom out to show more of the surroundings. And the right side is a small lake in the garden. I went back the other day. I'm not too crazy about the water, so I painted on the back at home. I like it much better. And the right side is a silver lake in near Haymarket in Virginia. And by now I'm used to the paper already, so I've decided I will be painting everything plein air. So September 23rd, I went to Lake Anne in Reston. I paint the restaurant part twice because I want to focus on the white awnings and reflections. On the right side, you can see a very happy fisherman who caught a big fish, and he was showing off his prize. September 28th in Lake Newport in Reston. Very quiet and pretty day. September 30th, I went to Franklin Farm. It's a small pound there, and saw a gray heron hiding behind the grass. On the right side, I went back to Lake Anne again on October 1st. Saw lots of people out on the water, paddleboarding and fishing. October 2nd, I went to paint this lotus pond. I'm not very happy with the painting. And the right side is the lovely horse at Frying Pan Farm. Lake Audubon on the left. And October 7th, I went back to paint the lotus pond again. This time I found a very comfortable spot, and I'm much happier with how this sketch turned out. October 8th, I went to Harper's Ferry with Bill in West Virginia. We were sitting across the street from the ice cream shop. On the right side, we walked across the bridge on the other side of the river. I was painting the lower town by the river. It was a very nice day, and I really enjoyed the trip. On the left side, my backyard, and the right side, on October 9th, I went to DC with my painting group. It was such a quiet day. I sat under a very old cherry tree along the tidal basin and painted the Roosevelt Memorial and the monument. October 13th at Frying Pan Farm. Lots of kids are out with their parents checking out the animals. And on the right side, I sat on the picnic table and enjoying watching the grazing cows moving around on the farm. I went to Burke Lake on October 14th. I'm not very happy with the sketch on the left, and I walked around the lake and found this really good spot and paint across from the lake to paint the trees and reflections. And this goose was hanging around the whole time when I was there painting, so I added him to the foreground. October 15th, I went to Meadowlark again. You can see the leaves are changing colors. It's really bright red and yellow. And I was practicing painting trees on the bench, and I remember saw the koi fish, so I added in the middle. October 19th in my backyard. Lots of leaves on the ground already. On the right side, October 20th, I went to Bull Run Winery with Bill. It was a weekday, so it's very, very quiet. It's a perfect day to sit outside enjoying the nice view. And you can see the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains in the background. October 22nd, I went to paint with my group at Swine's Lock of CNO Canal in Maryland. When we got there in the morning, it was very foggy, but the fog lifted probably within 15 to 20 minutes. So my sketch was a little confused, and I went home and painted again on the left because I really want to catch the moment of the misty Potomac River. We drove through this very pretty small village called Paris in Virginia. I love the intense dark red and orange trees. On the right side, October 23rd, I went back to Burke Lake and painted the boathouse. And you can see the boat are stacked up, and they were never in the water this year because of the pandemic. October 26th, went back to Lake Newport in Reston. I zoomed in to the bright colored chair on the dock, and I'm very pleased with the composition. I love the sketch floating in the middle of the page. On the right side, October 28th, I went to Green Spring Garden in Alexandria, Virginia. I saw this gazebo, and I feel like I really want to paint this one, but I have to do it very fast because I need to leave to beat the rush hour traffic. I love the contrast. On the right side is the Sully Historic Site. I went there on November 5th. It's a small plantation and beautiful stone wall buildings, and it's very, very quiet. Practically nobody was there. November 6th at Calvin Run Mill in Great Falls, Virginia. On the right side, November 7th, we went to Blandy Experimental Farm that is run by the University of Virginia. We walked around and sat at the bench, took our lunch. So I decided to do a quick sketch, but it's really not much to paint there. So I painted the left half, and then we saw this guy. I was hanging around there for quite a while, and he told us that he donated the tree and the bench we were sitting on for his late wife. He has been coming back here to talk to her for the past 6 years. So I added him to the painting, and the sketch doesn't make sense. It was not very good before, but since I added him, I feel like there's a story in the painting and make lots of sense now. November 8th, we went to Chrysalis Vineyard in Middleburg, Virginia. It was, I think, Sunday afternoon. It was very crowded. We have to wait for half an hour to just get a glass of wine, but it's very, very pretty there. It's nice to be out. November 9th, on the right side, I went back to Meadowlark Botanical Garden again, and you can see most of the leaves are gone already. November 10th, at Bull Run Winery again. It's an unusual warm day, 76 degrees for November. And I went there last time to paint the vineyard, and this time I want to paint the structure. Especially I like the wine barrel wagon near the door. On the right side, November 20th, 65 degrees. I think that was the last day I went out to a plein air painting at Lake Audubon, and you can see the trees are brown and the pontoon boats are docked ready for the winter. And this is the beginning of my sketchbook, September 4th. It's all green. And November 20th, everything is turned brown. This is the end of the sketchbook. I finished this book in about 2.5 months. It's 25 pages. I painted on both sides, so I think I did about 50 sketches, and I really enjoyed painting outside. I discovered so many beautiful places near my house. You really don't need to go too far to find nice things to paint, and I can't wait for the spring to come so I can go out and do the plein air again. I hope you like my video. Please let me know if I have any questions or comments. I would really appreciate it if you can subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.